until Thanksgiving is over with, kind of technically showing you how to make side dishes to bring to the party. So you know I'm all about bringing a little dish to a gathering. If you don't know, I'm not going to cook a full meal and I'm not going to host a party, but I will bring something to the side party or a side dish to the party. So today or tonight, I'm going to be showing y'all how you can bring a little dish. It's made with love, and the family is gonna love it, or friends, because Friendsgiving is coming up, and you just don't want to be the one that buys something from the store, especially if you're not the cook, but you want to be the one that everybody like, oh, can you bring this? Can you bring that? So I got your back tonight, and then tomorrow I got your back as well. But tonight we're gonna be making roasted honey veggies. Okay, so I know these vegetables, they're like, I'm not a veggie lover, I don't like to eat vegetables, but I got you. So I already pre-made them, but I'm gonna show you how to make it, and then I'm gonna show you how to make the sauce, because we got to put the sauce on it. The sauce is what makes it, like, it gives it its razzle dazzle. So if you're not a cook and you like, hey, I need to be like bringing something to this Thanksgiving or a Friendsgiving and I do not know what to do, I got your back. Okay, so we're gonna be making roasted veggies. Okay, so right here is all the good stuff. Okay, but before we get to this pan, I got to show you how to make this and all the ingredients that you need. So I'm going to turn you towards the stove or my countertop, and we're gonna get into it. So if you have any questions or concerns, let me know. I did post or I did put everything in there that we're gonna be using. I didn't give measurements because this is like an eyeball base. You can eyeball whatever you want. So first things first, you're gonna need some bacon. Now, if you're cooking this for people that do not like bacon or you're not gonna be eating bacon, you do not have to put this in here. It's okay. But if you want a little more flavor for your buck and you want them to be like, oh, you did your thing, or your one and your two, you want to get you some bacon. Thick cut bacon, I tell you to get that. Next thing you're gonna need some vegetables. This is why we roasting vegetables. So I got a sweet potato right here. I got a bell pepper right here. I have an onion, so you can use a purple onion, which is sweet, or you can use a white onion, which is delicious when you roast it. And then you need some Brussels sprouts. Now, Brussels sprouts to me is like little baby carrots. If you never had, cabbage. If you never had like a cabbage, they technically taste like that, but they're just little. They look tiny and little. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, you're gonna also need some pecans or walnuts. I put pecans in mine, so that's what I got. And this is going to taste absolutely wonderful. But before we can get to the flavors, we need to go ahead and make sure that we are cutting up all our vegetables and putting it on our pan. So first things first, you want to wash everything off. So I have everything washed right here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to peel my sweet potato. Now, I didn't put any measurements down there because you literally can eyeball how much you need to bring. So if you're going to a Friendsgiving and your friends is like, oh, we're going to eat healthy, and you don't want to bring like sweet potatoes, or you're not a cooker, and you say, okay, I'm going to bring something they're going to like, it's going to be healthy, and also it's going to taste really, really good. This is the meal you want to bring. It's simple, it's easy, and it doesn't take that long, and you do not have to have any cooking skills, okay? I eat this on a regular. You can use it with any other vegetable of the season, but right now the things that I'm showing you, that is what's in season, so why not use it? Now, if you're going to a Friendsgiving, tell me so we can have a little conversation dialogue. What do you normally or typically bring if you are watching live and you're interested and you want to have a conversation? So normally, it just depends on the friend group that I have. I'll just buy something at the store. But if you have that friend group and they like, oh, we cook and we be in the kitchen, or you have like a mommy group and y'all having like a Friendsgiving and they like, listen, you have to bring a cooked meal. This is something that you can bring and you can shock them because they wouldn't know, okay? Who's going to know that you really didn't spend that much time in the kitchen? So when you're cutting this, make sure you have a nice sharp knife because you're going to cut these in rounds and you're going to make sure they're pretty thick. Maybe like a 1/2 inch thick. You don't want them too thin because we're going to cook them all at the same time because everything has to cook evenly at the same time. Be careful. Do not cut your fingers off, okay? And just cut these up. It only takes about, I want to say, prep time for this. It doesn't even take that long. I want to say maybe 5 minutes. After you wash everything off and you cut it up, it does not take that long. So what you're going to do, now you got everything, you want to dice all of your vegetables up. And you want to try to cut them roughly about the same size, not too small and not too thick, because if you keep them too thick, then it's going to take too long to cook. And then if you have it too thin and your bacon's not cooked all the way, then guess what? your vegetables is going to be burning. So let me see if anybody having a conversation with me down there. No, so when you go to Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving, are you the cook? Does everybody expect you to cook? Answer that for me. And then, if you're not going to answer that question for me, tell me, are you planning on cooking something healthy? Or are you the type of person like me? I always try to bring something different to the table. And then they're like, who brung that? And then they're eating it and they like it. And then they ask me to make it again. I like to spoil them with something different. So every now and then I do something creative like this. I make a sweet potato dish. Since everybody always want to start off their New Year's resolution at the wrong time, I help them start it off. I'm gonna get you some good vegetables in your life. This is a good meal to cook, even if you're not like a healthy person all the time, but you like vegetables. This is good too. So again, you want to cut up everything, chop it up about roughly the same size. So everything's like a medium cut over here. I'm not cutting anything up too small. So I'm just making sure everything is uniform. Now, if you never had a Brussels sprout, or if you had a Brussels sprout and you're like, I do not like Brussels sprouts, try this recipe. When you roast them and you put like a nice little flavor sauce on them, it comes out even better. I personally do not like Brussels sprouts when they are boiled. A lot of people that I know of will boil a Brussels sprout, and I just think that is so nasty. I don't even like boiled cabbage. So if you're a cabbage lover, make sure you fry your cabbage. One day I'm gonna have to show y'all how to fry cabbage. That is so delicious, okay? Now, I'm not saying it's the healthiest, but it's pretty delicious, okay? Now, when it comes to the Brussels sprouts, you just want to half them. And again, I washed everything off before I even got on here showing y'all. So you want to half your Brussels sprouts. And these Brussels sprouts are pretty big. I got some little ones in here too. So I'm just going to half them on here. Now, after you cut up all your vegetables, you want to make sure you start preheating your oven. Turn it on to 400 about midway when you are almost done cutting up majority of your vegetables, because it doesn't take that long. And I see a lot of people. Hello. How you're doing today? Okay, so if you missed it, the question was, what do you bring to a Friendsgiving? Does it depend on the Friendsgiving, the group of people? You bring certain food, and if you are going to one and they like cooks, are you going to actually cook something, or are you going to fake it till you make it? So that is the question, depending on who I'm talking to and who is the cook and who is not the cook. Okay, so after we cut up all our vegetables, basically what we're going to do is go ahead and put them in a bowl. I put them in this pot because, you know, I do not like to make a lot of dishes, and I'm going to half and half. I'm going to go ahead and add in some extra virgin olive oil. I'm just going to open this up because normally I spread, but you just want to drizzle it with some extra virgin olive oil. Boom. Just like so. And then I told you the seasoning I'm using, I put it in the list below so you can check it out. I will not be making a separate video because this is simple and it's easy. I'm not going to say any gathering. Okay, well, if you want to make something for yourself, start off being a little healthy. So I like this. They're not paying me, but I love it. So if you go to Sam's Club, I'm not sure Costco sell this because I'm not a Costco member. I can only pay for one at a time. And when Sam's Club membership is over with in January, then I go to Costco's. But for now, Sam's Club has this, and they are way cheaper than going to Walmart, Meijer, or Kroger. You get even a bigger in a bulk, and they're cheaper. So this is my favorite. I put it on everything. Try it out. So I'm going to go ahead and nicely season that up. Not too much because we're going to use a sauce. And then also I'm going to use kosher salt. I use kosher salt when I cook. So if you ever see me just like pinch some stuff out of here, it's just salt. That's all. It's nothing spectacular. It's just salt. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to mix this up in this bowl, which I should have got a bigger bowl. Do not be like me, okay? I'm trying not to make a mess, and in doing so, I'm trying to keep the dishes at a minimum because I don't like washing dishes, okay? That's just something I'm going to be honest about. I do not like washing dishes. All right. And then I'm just going to put some back over here in this bowl because I got too much going on. Too much going on. So we're going to just separate it. Bowl to bowl. Bowl to bowl. So I get it all mixed up. How about that? All right. So as that set aside, I told you the next thing that's going to make this meal delicious, the side dish delicious, you need some bacon. Now, if you don't have bacon, you do not have to use bacon. If you are a turkey lover, go ahead and put your bacon down there, your turkey bacon or whatever. But I'm using thick cut bacon, and all I'm gonna do is put it at the bottom of this pan. At this moment, I have my oven preheated, going to 400, and you're gonna cook this about 45 minutes on 400. So you should start preheating your oven, okay? And then you just lay you some bacon down, just like so. Simple, easy, don't hurt yourself. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and take your vegetables and just sprinkle them on top of your bacon, okay? Just like that. Now, I probably got too much vegetables. I guess I didn't eyeball nothing really good today. Because guess what? Your girl just got small dishes everywhere. But it's okay. We're not going to trip. And you just make sure you have enough vegetable oil on your vegetables. So you don't want to like drench them, but you want to make sure you have a nice little coating on them, and you want to make sure you have the seasoning on them. So what you're going to do is spread your vegetables out. You don't want too many on the pan. Maybe I should have got a bigger pan, but you know, whatever. Do what's best for you. That's what I tell people when they're cooking. And then you want to make sure you turn your Brussels sprouts flat side down, okay? Because you want that top to get that caramelization on top when it's cooking in the oven. So turn your Brussels sprouts down. Okay, do not over stuff your pan, because then you're going to have a steaming situation, and that's not what you want. So make sure it's not overcrowded. Put your vegetables down, dice them up, do your good ones, do your big one. And this is how it should look when you are cooking it. So your bacon's at the bottom. The bacon's going to be rendering. It's going to be cooking. All that flavor is going to get into your vegetables, and then your vegetables are going to be cooking. Now, midway, probably about 20 minutes, because you're going to cook this for 45 minutes, you're going to come back and stir this up. Then when it gets to 40 minutes, you're going to stir the whole pan up, and you're going to take your bacon and you're going to flip it to the top, and you're going to let the bacon get crispy. Once the bacon get crispy, that little 5 extra minutes, you're going to take it out and let it sit. So let me show you what it looks like once it gets done cooking. I'm gonna have to get a bigger pan, because clearly, technically, I didn't do what I'm supposed to be doing. And this is what it's gonna look like. Boom. So it's gonna be nice and crispy and brown, and everything's gonna look good and delicious. Now, once you get to this point, because it would not be a cooking show if I didn't get to show you and taste it with you. Okay, so let me see what y'all saying down there. What's in the oven? Oven temperature is 400. You're going to cook that for 45 minutes. Halfway, 20 minutes, you're going to stir it up. And then the other 20 minutes at the end, so when it gets to 40, you're going to stir the whole thing up. You're going to take the bacon from underneath and put it on top, and you're going to let it get crispy. And then your bacon is going to be, this lost some sweet potato. Your bacon is going to look like this. It's going to be nice and crispy, okay? So when you get done with that, this is where the love comes in at. You need a sauce. So we're going to make a sauce right now, okay? So I'm going to turn this little burner on, and I'm going to turn it on low. Now, if you're cooking on your stove, you want to cook it on medium. This little thing gets hot, and it will start blazing. So I got it on low right now, because I'm going to hurry up and clean up right quick. And as I do this, I'm going to tell you the next step in making the sauce. So if you're interested in just finding out, or you just coming in, you're like, what is she using with vegetables and all that, I have everything in the description. I don't have any measurements, because you literally can eyeball this and do your own thing. So pretty much when I cook, we're going to eyeball it, because you learn how to cook by learning your own measurements. So it really doesn't need a certain or a specific measurement for this, because you cut up how many vegetables you plan on eating. You taste the sauce as you go. It's not like you have to have a cup or a 4th cup of this and that. You do everything by eyeball. Now, if it's anything that needs a specific measurement, because you have to have it right, I will literally tell you. But in this case, you just eyeballing stuff. You don't really need too many measurements or anything. So to make the sauce for this, we're going to go ahead and get our pan warm, pan hot. Also, walnuts, I just sprinkle them in there, okay? Not a big deal. So in this sauce, you're going to need some honey. You can use whatever honey you like. I tend to buy this honey because, again, I shop at Sam's Club. You get it in bulk. This lasts for a whole year. I'm on my 2nd one, okay? So you get 2 for the price of 1 when you go to the store. So I have this honey right here. And then also, you're going to need some unsalted butter. So I have some unsalted butter right here, a fourth, half of a stick. If you use a whole stick, that's a cup. You do not need that. I'm just going to use half of a stick. So that's 2 tablespoons. You do not need a lot of butter. And then you need some red crushed chili flakes. So I have this. This has a little spice to it, a little kick to it. You do not have to use a lot of that. But if you like heat and you want to bump it up a notch, go ahead and throw in some extra if you like. So first and foremost, we're going to start and we're going to get this warm. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and put 2 tablespoons of butter in here, unsalted butter, okay? And the reason why I said that because we already have flavor in our roasted vegetables. We season that up really, really good. And we're just going to put this butter in here, okay? Once the butter is like halfway melted, come on, put that in there. Once the butter, I told you this thing gets hot, y'all. Crazy. Once the butter is halfway melted, that's going to be like done in 2 seconds. That's how crazy that is. You want to go ahead. I need to get a bowl. You want to go ahead and drizzle in some honey. Okay? And you want to drizzle in your honey. Now you can eyeball this. If you want it like really, really sweet, you can do it. I can see how the Brussels sprouts turned out. Are they crispy on the flat side? Yes. So they're soft and tender on the flat side, but they're like nice and crispy on the outside. Because you don't want them like hard. You want them soft and tender. So they're really soft and tender. Like a cabbage. Little baby cabbage, y'all. I'm going to eat this because I touched it. Okay, so when the butter is halfway melted like that, because I'm not for sure if you can see inside the pan, I'm going to drizzle some honey in here. I'm going to do your thing. If you like it sweet, make it sweet. I'm going to cut this off because this thing gets hot. And then depending on how high or how spicy you want your sauce, you just add in a couple. Or you just shake it till you feel like it, or you just shake it till your hand stops shaking. Okay, and then you take your little spatula and you just do a little spin circle. Now, once you put your honey in the butter, it's going to be like very, how can I explain this? It's going to be like watery. Yeah. So it's going to be very watery. But if you keep stirring it on low, it's going to get thick. So depending on how thick you want your sauce to be. It's honey, it's red crushed peppers in here, and a little bit of butter. So if you cut it on low, when you first put your honey in there, it's going to be like a watery consistency. But if you let it sit and you keep stirring, it's going to get thicker and thicker and thicker. I like a nice little glaze. So I don't want it this watery. I don't want it like this. That's not good. That's not the consistency that I'm looking for. I want it a little bit thicker. So I'm going to let it cook just a little bit more. Now, I didn't put that much honey in there. I might have put like a fourth of it in here. Gonna add a little bit more. Probably a fourth of it in there. And 2 tablespoons of butter. And the peppers, I didn't put a lot in there. Now, if you know you're taking this to a party and they can stand the heat, go ahead and put that in there for them. Now, with the bacon, you're going to take it out and you're going to cut up the bacon. Ooh, I got some good pieces of bacon, okay? I use 4 pieces of bacon. I'm going to roughly cut this bacon up. I'm not going to make the bacon like really, really small, but it's up to you depending on how you want. And this can feed 4 people. So if you're bringing this to a party, this meal probably going to cost you maybe $15 and under, because the most expensive thing is the bacon, okay? But you don't have to get thick cut bacon. I say get thick cut bacon because as you're cooking it that long, it's going to get crispy. It's not going to get burnt. And the flavors are going to render into the vegetables, okay? You also can add in potatoes in here. If you like, you can add a lot of stuff in here. Just depending on how you want to. Yes, so I added the red crushed peppers to the honey and the butter, and that's going to be my sauce. I took out the bacon and I just cut it up right here. And then here's the vegetables right here. I'm going to get a pan, a glass pan, so you can see. We're going to mix it up. And that's it. So this is simple and easy. So if you're making something to take to a gathering this holiday, this will be something simple and easy that you can bring. And guess what? You wasn't in the kitchen that long, okay? Wasn't in there at all that long. This is a 45-minute. It's going to take you 50 minutes because 5 minutes for prep. All you have to do is wash your vegetables off, dice them up, put them in the pan, roast them for 45 minutes, and boom. So now all I'm going to do, hopefully y'all can see. because we're going to be bringing y'all some food. Okay, hold me. Boom. There we go. So now the vegetables are roasted. I'm going to slide them in my pan right here. They're tender, they soft, they delicious, they have flavor to them. I have walnuts, sweet potatoes, an Idaho potato in here, onion, Brussels sprouts, and bacon, okay? So that's what I added in this batch. You can even go farther than that depending on the season. If you want to do a different type of veggie in here, you can do that as well. But I know for a fact, because I've been doing this for a while, I like the flavors of this, and it goes with the sauce, okay? So after you pour that in there like so, and I like a red onion or a white onion, just depend. And then this is how your vegetables gonna look once you put them in your bowl. Nice, that don't look like fall, look like harvest. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and add the bacon. You can add the bacon in here right now, or you can wait and use it as a topper. I like to add it in there because everybody's gonna get some bacon, okay? Everybody wants bacon. Now, if you're going to a party and you have some people that just don't like pork, you do not have to use pork. You can use turkey. I have never made this with turkey because I feel like turkey, you need to cook that on its own. It doesn't have a lot of flavor, but if you know how to cook turkey bacon, go ahead, be my guest. I am not going to stop you from cooking it. So then once you have the sauce, you're just going to drizzle the sauce on top. And you do not need a lot of this. So not even a whole pan. Don't go trying to make a big old pan of this. Just a little bit. So if I had to eyeball this, I use probably a fourth of honey, 2 tablespoons of butter, and I did a little bit of red pepper flakes. Not a lot. So then I'm going to go ahead and just toss my vegetables in this sauce. It's going to have a nice little glaze to it. And that's it, and that's all. So I'm going to go ahead and get a bowl and show y'all. Oh my God, this smells so good. And I love this. You can sit this on the table. Girls, ladies love this. It's not a heavy meal, so it's not like y'all sitting there eating and then you stuff to capacity. You can eat this, have a good time, do some drinks. I guarantee you they're gonna be like, what is the recipe? You got it, okay? And all I'm gonna do is just serve you some up. You got bacon in here. You got a nice little glaze, little demi glaze. You got some vegetables, flavor. I'm telling y'all, we got a little walnuts. Now, you don't have to put the walnuts in here. You can take a lot of stuff out that I put in here, pretty much. You can add whatever you want or take away whatever you want, and it doesn't take that long to cook this, okay? And it looks like fall. I just do myself all the time. Y'all know I'm not about to be in the kitchen cooking that long. That's not what I like to do. So look at that. Yeah, I see, I don't want to tip my plate over. I already lost some vegetables. So this is what it looks like, and it tastes really good. So, smells good, tastes good. It's kind of healthy. It's up to you. The sauce makes it, okay? The sauce makes it. So, till next time, I'm going to cook with y'all. I'm going to try to come back tomorrow. We're going to be making, jalapeno cornbread. Let me show y'all what it looks like. I've been in the kitchen cooking, so I want to show y'all that before I go, because tomorrow I'm going to show you the recipe. This bread is hot, okay? I'm going to go ahead and get a piece of it right now so I can show y'all what it looks like. So we had this for dinner. Y'all, let me get a good piece for y'all without making a mess. So if you're interested, tune in tomorrow, probably about like 5 or 4, and we're going to be making jalapeno cornbread. Look at this. Do y'all see the jalapenos in here? Do you see the cheese? Do you see it? It tastes delicious. Let me back up. And it smells wonderful, okay? So if you're not a cook, but this year you said, listen, don't threaten me with a good time. I'm going to show y'all I can make something. I got you. So we already got this already down for the side. Easy, simple, kids, parents, love it. The cornbread, they're going to really want the recipe. So tomorrow, tune in. I'm going to show y'all that. Hopefully you enjoyed this little mini afternoon, night cook, and that you will be tuning in tomorrow so you can get another recipe. We're going to keep this up until Wednesday. Every day or every other day, I'm going to try to bring something to you for a side dish so you can bring to the table, okay? Empty hands do not get fed. Not at this holiday. And you're going to be the one that's going to have a meal. You're going to be the one that's going to have a plate in your hand to bring. Okay. So I see y'all tomorrow. Make sure you like, subscribe, check out my other videos. And this is a community over here. We're learning. And if you have something that you're interested in making or you want me to make it, let me know. Leave a comment and I'll catch y'all next time. And thank you for sharing and watching. Bye, y'all.